Hey, I'm Chris. I live in Las Vegas and I love Keytars. And today is Sunday, so you know what that means. It is Studio Sunday. And on Studio Sundays, I try to pull out one piece of gear out of my studio and do a quick tutorial on it and a demo. And thank you for showing up. So just like last week, I wanted to do a continuation. So last week, I did a demo of the Roland MT 120, which is a polyphonic sequencer from the 1990s that also you can burn on a floppy disk. Now, how old school is that? So, I wanted to do a continuation with the Roland MT 300, which is basically the little brother or sister, the later edition of that same sequencer. And I'm going to show you exactly how to mix on it and the differences between the original. So, last week, I showed you this Roland sequencer right there. Flipperoo. I showed you this little guy, and I really love this sequencer. Honestly, it's a studio inside a box way before we had the DAW. And the biggest love of my life when I play with all this old gear is that I like to pretend that I am one of those musicians way back in the day, and this is the equipment that I have to work with. The same with all my Keytars, the same with all my 80s sequencers and synthesizers. I try to use the tools of that time in order to make the music I would make. So, this is the predecessor of this guy. This is the Roland 120, MT 120. Came out in 1993. You burn all of the music on a floppy disk, believe it or not. And this guy is the one that came out a little bit after. This is the Roland MT 300. Basically, the 120 has 120 different tones, patches on it. The MT 300 has 300, but also it can do things that the Roland MT 120 can't do. First of all, I'm sure you can tell, it's got that sexy green LED light right there. The the control pad lights up. You could see everything, and you could tell this is way old school technology because remember that old school like fold out Motorola with the green screen? That's exactly the kind of LED that you're looking at, right? By the way, 1993. This one, 1998. So there are a little bit of improvements. I'm going to go over them. So what I like about this guy is that not only does it have 300 different tones on it, but at the same time, it's got its own drum machine inside of it. You don't have to play drums individually with just your fingers on the keyboard. So I'm going to demonstrate how that sounds. So first of all, you're going to go into your menu. You're going to turn, another difference between this sequencer and the other one. Instead of all push buttons, you have this sexy little dial on the end. So you don't have to punch like hard keys every time. You could just turn the dial. So you have a couple of different features in the menu section. So you have your record mode. You have a pattern, your rhythm pattern, which is how you choose your drums. You have your drum, you have a beat map, you have a metronome, you have a count-in, you have a marker, you have effects. You can control effects on this. I'm sorry, that's another big difference. And then, of course, you have a pedal to turn off and on your recordings and play features. You can even type in lyrics, which is it's a big pain in the butt with this guy, but it can be done. Of course, you can control your MIDI. You have factory presets that you could return everything to. But let's go to number 2, which is your rhythm pattern. So for this guy, I choose this one. Okay. You can choose a 4/4, a 3/4. You could choose a 6/8. I like the 8-beat. And then, of course, there's a 16-beat. I think I choose the 16-beat on this song. You can choose a rock beat. You could choose a ballad. You have disco. You have a whole bunch of different settings on there. And you could choose the drum sets that you want to use. I think I use the 16-beat. And let's see. That's the one I'm using. You could choose the volume on it. You could choose what kind of drum set you want on that. And of course, just like the other one, you hit record, you hit the track that you want to record that on, and then you record your mix, one on top of each other. So I've already recorded, let's see, let's go back. I've already recorded piano and drums, but I'm gonna add the rest so you can see how this baby sounds, okay? Let's see. Only piano and drums. Oh, and by the way, this is a very simple mix. It's just something in B flat. That's the only reason I named this B flat. All right. So we have 2 tracks. We're going to add more tracks on top of that one by one. So what the first thing we're going to do is we're going to hit the track button. And we're going to scroll over to track number 2. Come on. Right there. And we're going to choose the sound that we want to play. So track number 2, you're going to hit the enter/transpose button. And then synth bass. I love synth bass. It's cheesy, but it's actually really fun. And I try to use an arpeggio off of my main master keyboard in order to basically cheat. Rather than do this constantly playing like arpeggios, I use the arpeggiator on my keyboard just to make my bass line sound a little bit more intense. So we're gonna hit enter. Let's see. There we go. Okay, we're gonna record this. So it's gonna play on track 2. We're gonna rewind back to the beginning. We're gonna hit record. And then play will start the recording. So let's do this. All right, that recorded the synth bass. So I usually do, there's a formula to my mix. I usually do drums, I do a piano, I do bass, and then I will add strings and strings, maybe a sound effect, trumpets. That's what I kind of live for, and that's all very 80s-esque sounds. So we're going to hit track. Ooh, gonna go to track. We're going to choose track number 3 and hit the transpose enter button and basically use this sexy spinny knob to find whatever synth sound I want to use next. And we're gonna record off of track 3. Let's see. Organs. I always choose a nice simple string. I think it's string 1. That's our synth bass. There we go. Let's see. Ooh, let's take off the arpeggiator. All right, that sounds pretty good. Let's do this. All right, we've chosen our sound. We're going to hit record. I usually wait until the second repeat to add strings and then so on when I add trumpets. So the song kind of builds. So let's do this. Again, by the way, it puts a little black mark on all of the recordings that you're doing on all the tracks. By the way, just like the Roland MT 120, you have up to 16 tracks. Believe it or not, on track number 2, basically, the R track obviously is the rhythm track. Track number 1, 2, 3, 4. But if you want to do 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 11, 12, 13, 14, 16, you could record those all on track number 2. Oddly enough, don't ask me why. So again, let's get the track number. We're going to track number 4. I always use trumpets. Again, I always start the melody and I wait for the repeat, and then I will add on in different layers the next melody or the next layer. So let's choose a sound. Piano. I always choose a trumpet. I always use a brass ensemble. Oh, there we go. Brass ensemble. Let's do this. All right, let's do this. Ooh. Did I not save something? There we go. All right. Now some brass. And there we go. Basically, all 5 of those tracks are laid on top of each other. I'm going to show you how you save, which is very important. Every time you rush through this, just like on all old school technology, especially from the 1980s and the 1990s, if you don't save right, it will erase everything as soon as you turn off the sequencer. So let's see. We're going to go to the disk button. Ooh. Let's go back to the beginning. We're going to go to the disk button. As you can see, the menu says save. We're going to hit the enter/transpose button. And it wants you to save. You could add whatever name you want. I just put B flat because it's in the key of B flat. And hit that. And it says save OK. Hit save OK. And it's going to make a screeching sound in there as it's saving the entire song. Let's hit it one more time. Okay. Now we're just going to play the thing. Come on, save. Let's go. It's saving. All right. This is all 5 tracks all together. Now the cool thing about this, and okay, by the way, these are our 5 tracks. If you want to only hear one track, all you have to do is turn off all the other tracks and you will only hear one thing playing. There's your drums. Here's the bass. Oh, sorry, that's the piano. Here's the strings. Here's our trumpet. Exactly. Now, keep in mind, you can edit all of the sounds that you want to even after you've saved. So you can go into the track, you can hit the transpose, you could change the brass into whatever you wanted to. You could turn it into synth brass, you could turn it into synth brass 3, you could turn it into whatever you wanted to do, actually. But I always like that regular brass ensemble, brass number 1. Same with all of the other tracks. You could change the sounds into anything. I'm using an electric piano for track 1. Yeah. Okay. I'm using an electric piano for track 1. But you could turn it into whatever you want to. Let's say I want to turn it into, let's see. Let's choose another piano sound. E1, let's say honky tonk, it's right next to it. Let's play it. Let's see, let's hit save, let's do it. You can hear how it's more honky tonkier. And of course you could change it. Now back to E piano. All right, so that is my track number. Yeah, we could do that. That is how you build up a track. Let's see. So let's say we want to start all over again from the beginning. As you scroll through all the songs that you've recorded already, we don't want a number 6. Let's see. Let's edit that. So I accidentally copied song number 3, which is B flat, which is what I just recorded, onto tracks 5 and 6. If you've accidentally done that, I always have to go back and delete. So you got to hit disk save, and you could turn your menu to either change the format of your disk or delete whatever songs that you've written that you don't like. Let's see, yes, no, we're going to go to number 6, delete that. Executing, by the way, I love that. Let's go back to disk. Let's see, we're going back to number 5 again. And disk delete number 5. All right. Now, new song. You want to scroll through this and you want to make a new song. That's how you start any song. I always start with making a drum beat, but I'm going to show you all the cool sounds that are on this guy. So let's hit track 1. Let's hit that. Of course, you have in the 1980s, when you had a MIDI, when you had general MIDI. General MIDI was 120 different tones. Basically, it started off with a piano, and then a whole bunch of guitars, and then strings, and then trumpets, and then sound effects. Same deal. Usually, the first 120 tones in this sequencer synthesizer are general MIDI, just like its predecessor right there. But they added more. They added more to this guy. So we're going to listen to some of them. Here's your general piano. Okay, I'm not playing all 300, but let's see. You have a whole bunch of detuned pianos, every different kind of piano you can think of. And I'm slowly using this dial to scroll up. Ooh, a marimba. Marimba, okay. Tubular bells, oh, that's creepy. All right. Organs? Organs. Ooh, a rock organ. And that's kind of like a Ray Manzarek sound. You've already heard the bass. Oh, here's guitar. I don't really like the guitars. It sounds like plucking strings rather than that like grrr electric guitar sound that you get out of sequencers and synthesizers nowadays. Here's a 12 string. Not really good at playing guitar on a piano. I will do that whole little, like, what do you call it? When you try to graze across the keys to make it sound like you're doing like a glide, like you're trying to make it sound like it's a strum. I do my best. Let's see. Ooh, here's a Hawaiian guitar. Again, it sounds like a piano, doesn't it? Let's see. Overdrive. That's not bad. Let's see, distortion guitar. It doesn't sound like distortion guitar, huh? Leave it to the 90s, right? I'd hate to plug this thing into a distortion pedal just to make it sound good. Oh, here's a slap bass. Oh, let me play it in the bass. Yeah, that's pretty damn good for a slap bass. Slap bass 2. Nice. My favorite synth bass. My favorite bass on this guy. But it goes on and on. Oh, a rubber bass. Ooh, I love that resonance. Okay, and of course you're gonna fall into strings. There's a viola, there's a cello, there's a contrabass. Ooh, see, tremolo string. Ooh. That's very dramatic. Pizzicato string. Ooh. Nice. Harp. Ooh. Again, I'm not doing all 300. I ain't got that kind of time in my life. These are my favorite strings, just the regular strings. Pretty. Ooh, orchestra. But I know I've got an orchestra hit somewhere on here. So, again, these are all general MIDI voice. Ooh, here's my orchestra hit. Love that. Okay. Trumpets. I know. Oh, a French horn. Here's my favorite brass. Favorite brass. By the way, I love you, Roland. All of the cool stuff that you've done over the last, I don't know, 50 years, 60, 70. Let's see. So, we're well past the 120 from this guy into this guy. Let's see, whistles. Ooh, a nice square wave. But I like... Yeah, the bite off of this square. Nice. Nice sine wave. Ooh, that sounds very FM. All right, saw wave. It's got bite. Let's see. Oh, this is so pretty. Fifth wave. So pretty. Very soundtrack. I feel like Vangelis. Ooh. Pretty, pretty. Oh, bass and lead. Nice. Fantasia. Pretty, pretty. Polysynth. Nice. Space voice. Now, there are odds. Oh, okay. There are odd sound effects on this keyboard. Very, very general MIDI. Very, very 1980s. Yet this came out in 1998. So, Ice Rain. Hear that weird resonance in it? Soundtrack. Ooh. Ooh, that's pretty. Let's see, Crystal. Atmosphere, brightness, goblin. Ooh. It grows. Okay. Echo drops. There's some weird ones. There's like car alarms on here. There is raining. I believe there's a wind, snowstorm. I want to find those. Let's see. Come on. Got like 100. Ooh, love this. Synth drums. You could play synth drums on your keys. Oh, this is the 808 Tom. Electric percussion. Because you really want to play cymbals on keys, right? It's just not as fun. String slap? That's nice. A breath noise? It doesn't sound like a breath noise to me. Sound effects and seashore. It almost sounds like clapping to me. Rain. Again, it sounds like applause. Thunder. Nice. I believe there's scream. Oh, here's wind. Stream. Let's find. There's a scream on here. There's birds, a dog. I'm having a Ferris Bueller moment. Okay, let's see. A horse's gallop? It doesn't sound like a gallop to me. Ooh, there's a bird. Old school phone. doesn't sound like a creaking door to me. A door slamming, a scratch. But there's a scream, and I probably want to end on the scream. Oh, here's an old school siren. Train. Sounds like a train to me. A jet plane. Maybe if you squint and you could imagine yourself flying. Applause. Doesn't sound like applause to me. It sounds like a rainfall. Doesn't sound like applause to me. Laughing. It makes me... Okay, here's the scream, and we're going to end with the scream. I love how it screams in, like, chromatic, like, sound. By the way, I have a Halloween track where half of it is thunder and screams, and I love this feature on this keyboard. So that is the Roland MT 300. Hugs, health, and happiness from Las Vegas. I'm Chris, and I love Keytars. Stay happy, stay healthy, and of course, hug your Keytar and make some music.